Man, you read the title right. Do not let lust destroy the beauty of the divine feminine. Yes, sir. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Listen up. Do not let lust destroy the beauty of the divine feminine. And you might be wondering, okay, man, what the fuck even is the divine feminine? How does lust destroy it? What do I do to help it? Well, relax. Relax, relax, my guy, because it's time for your boy to break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. Brick for y'all. Now, what I'm referring to when I say the divine feminine is the divine feminine aspect and principle of this entire universe. It's manifested in many different ways and forms. It's manifested, of course, in females and women, but it's also manifested in things like Mother Nature. This is a part of reality itself. This is the overall underlying aspect of duality, the masculine principle and the feminine principle, which once comes together in union, in unification, dissolves duality. AKA when a man and a woman come together in sexual union, what does it do? Creates a whole nother life. It bridges duality. It dissolves the barriers. Yet, this divine feminine principle in the modern world we are living in today, just like the divine masculine principle, has become degenerated. Degenerated to the point where you cannot realize what true divine feminine aspects of reality are. You feel like femininity is just promiscuity, is just these girls showing off their body, is just about emotions, sexuality, all that stuff. Because guess what? That's what modernity, that's what the Maya, that's what the Matrix, that's what the illusion promotes and programs into females, into women, to believe is true aspects of being a female. But in reality, the divine feminine is nowhere near this degenerated bullshit that you see today. Same thing with the masculine. We already have a video about this on this channel, talking about how the alpha male, the red pill alpha male, is nothing but a degenerate version of the divine masculine. And what really encapsulates the divine masculine is the complete opposite of that nonsense. Same rules apply to the divine feminine. And one thing that further diminishes your view on what divine femininity is lust. Because the more you lust after women, the more you actually are throwing dirt on the name and throwing dirt on the actual expression of the divine feminine. Most women in today's day and age are looking for attention, and they see the things that give them the most likes on Instagram, the things that get them the most attention, the most DMs, the most eyeballs and external validation is through exposing themselves in a sexual manner, in a promiscuous manner. The more you as a man feed into that, the more fuel you put onto that fire. It's like putting gasoline on a fucking fire that's already lit. Propane. Just gonna keep on growing more and more and more and more and more. And that's gonna further degenerate the divine feminine principle more and more and more and more. Lust is programming them to act in certain ways. And lust is also programming you to act in a way that further enhances that behavior of lust, of promiscuity, and all that bullshit. That further just makes a bigger division between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. This is why we see all these guys, these red pill guys, these alpha males, bring on girls that are promiscuous, talk about them in a way where, oh, you're a slut, you're this, you're that. But they're the same type of person, just on two different poles, two different extremes, two different sides of the spectrum. The man whore and the woman that's confused, looking for external validation and following what the masses, the matrix, the Maya is saying. You as a man have the duty, have the capability to shift that whole spectrum back to its divine origins. Because you have the ability to transcend beyond lust, to transcend beyond your lower nature, to transcend beyond being a slave to your senses. Looking at women as a counterpart, as a emanation of the same source, that same spiritual energy that you also originate from. Just a reflection to you, rather than an object. The more you objectify women, the more you pedestalize promiscuity, the more that you further feed into this nonsense that clouds your vision of understanding what divine femininity is. Do not let this degenerate world cloud that vision, distort your reality. Because then you fall into this black pill, red pill, blue pill, purple pill, whatever fucking pills you pop in, that you see all these guys fall into. Oh, I'm a black pillar, I'm an inceller, like, what are all these fucking names first of all? Like, I'm not into this whole part of the internet, but I see it happening because, of course, I'm out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping game for y'all motherfucking brains here on YouTube. I'm not trying to be involved with it, and I don't want my audience, the people that are actually on this path towards self-mastery in order to attain self-realization, to fall into these traps as well. Due to their mind being warped from pornography, from social media, from the modern day hookup culture scene of what this is what a female is. This is where the whole concept of all men are trash, all female are trash. It all stems off of you operating in your lower senses and you operating in a sense of lust. Because when you lust, what's really happening is not because it's a sin because you are looking at people in a sexual manner. No, that's a part of your nature. That's a part of your biology. You're never going to get rid of your biology until you go 6 feet under. What the problem is when it comes to lust is now you are allowing something external to essentially perceive as something that you need in order to feel fulfilled, in order to feel whole. You are lacking something. You are putting yourself in a state of lack and you're pedestalizing something, sexual contact, external validation, above you, making you really think that you have to go attain that in order to feel fulfilled in life. And this is what they're telling most young men. You gotta have at least 10, 15 girls in your rotation. You gotta have 100 bodies. And they're telling these women that you need to be able to essentially attract all these men. If you're not focused on just your physical appearance, then you're not a real woman, this and that. You gotta be a boss bitch. All that nonsense derives from lusting, derives from desiring something from your lower senses, from your lower nature, making it seem like there's a gap in between you and actually attaining fulfilled states of existence. This is what I'm saying, that lust, don't let lust destroy the beauty of the divine feminine. The divine feminine is beautiful and whole as itself. The divine masculine is beautiful and whole as itself. When they come together, they make something even better than the sum of their counterparts. They make something beyond just the masculine and the feminine. But by themselves, they're still perfect. By yourself, you're still perfect. But women by themselves are still perfect. They don't need external things, because when you actually go beyond this dualistic nature, understanding that you're not the body, you're not the mind, but you're the spirit that animates the flesh and activates the brain, there is no genders involved. Yes, there's a masculine, feminine energy, but that could be positive, negative. Guess what? Even those dissolve when you transcend duality on the spiritual path through the road of self-mastery. This is why when you're practicing things that we talk about here on this channel, like semen retention, celibacy that we talk about on the main channel, on the private Patreon community. Shout out to the fucking private Patreon community, man. Look, listen up right now. If you are truly dedicated to this path of self-mastery in order to attain self-realization and elevate yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually to the peak of your potential, and you have not joined up into the private Patreon community yet, man, I don't know what to say. You are doing yourself a huge fucking disfavor. Yes, so let me say that again. You are doing yourself, not me, yourself, motherfucker, a huge disfavor by not joining up into the private Patreon community. Because within there, you'll get access to our exclusive videos that goes much more in-depth and in detail to uncovering this esoteric science of self-mastery, talking about the divine masculine, talking about the divine feminine, talking about all these underlying aspects of reality that go beyond just the surface level self-improvement shit that you see here online. There's some real deal knowledge that comes with also our full guides, our in-depth occult lectures, and most importantly, if you tap into the Philosopher's Circle, yes sir, the highest membership tier group within the private Patreon community, you get access to our private group chat, as well as our bi-weekly mastermind live calls. Yes sir, where we're doing 2 live calls each and every single month, bi-weekly. Come on, are you picking up what I'm putting down? We hop on a call with me as well as a community of like-minded men who are also striving for self-mastery, who are also dissolving this duality of femininity and masculinity, who are becoming divine masculine men, who are actually embodying the principles to attain their highest potential. If you want to be around a community of like-minded men who are on that path just like yourself, get access and get some game, some esoteric sauce that ain't gonna be up on this channel, on the main channel, anywhere else. You ain't gonna find it anywhere else. Then join up into the fucking private Patreon community, man. All the links posted in the pinned comment of this video, such as our other services, to our other overall products, whether that be application forms for our personalized coaching program, one-on-one consultation calls, weekly newsletters, free community Discord server, all that good stuff, man, post in the pinned comment of this video. Make sure to run it up. But like I was saying, for the stuff that we talk about on this channel, on the main channel, on the private Patreon community, with the people I'm working with one-on-one on my personalized coaching program, with the people that are hopping on consultation calls with me, all these practices, elements, principles, techniques, tips, whatever you want to call it, tools, are helping you reclaim back your power. Not letting lust distort your vision, distort your view on reality, distort your perspective on what this plane of existence has to offer you. You're no longer seeking externally for things to fill that void. You are redirecting your energy, attention, all that stuff inwards to attain a state of perfection, if you want to call it that. A state of bliss, a state of equanimity, not needing external substances, not needing external validation to feel whole. And when you do that, the way you view the world starts to become like that as well. It's equanimity is what you see. You don't see the division. You see the beauty in the divine feminine now. Even in those girls that are promiscuous, even in those girls that are sluts. You view where this stuff originates from. It's not truly them. This is a mask, a persona that they're putting on. But when you are in a state of lust, either you're going to be consumed by that lust, or you're going to be in a full sense of aversion to that lust. You're either going to be addicted or averted. So what do I mean by that? You're either going to be addicted to chasing women, to chasing this degenerate source of femininity, because you think that you need it in order to feel whole, or you're going to be averted to it. Aversion means that you hate it, that you want to stay away from it, that you want to completely go the opposite direction. They're both same things on 2 opposite spectrums. They're not going to actually help you appreciate the beauty of the divine feminine, because one of them you're so addicted into it and you become engrossed and consumed in it, and the other one you're so averted and you hate it to the point where you can't see the beauty in the divine feminine. You can't see the beauty in the divine feminine aspects of your mother even. All women are sluts. Yeah, all women are sluts. You hate all women. What about your damn mother? What about your damn mother? What about Mother Earth? What about Mother Nature? You see how lust fucks up this whole thing because you are looking externally for these sources? When you find inner peace, you see peace around you, even in this chaotic world, even in this world of duality. You transcend beyond that. What pulls you back into those states of duality, those states of I'm lacking, I have to go get it, is survival, sex, and status. The lower three chakras, which the Maya, the matrix, the illusion, the material world wants to keep you stuck under. It wants to keep you operating in a state where all you're thinking about is survival, sex, and status. Because guess what? That creates division. That creates this need for external sources of validation to fill those voids. It doesn't allow you to operate from the heart chakra, the Anahata chakra, that bridges the animalistic part of man on over to the spiritual aspect of man, the higher chakras, the higher faculties, the higher states of consciousness. The Anahata is the connecting point between the animal and the spirit, the mind, if you want to call it that. In the esoteric and occult, they call the heart the mind. And when you're operating in a state of the mind, which is neutral, it's not good nor bad, it's not the physical body nor the spirit, it's a middleman or mediator in between the two, because now your mind is not in a state of hypnosis, under a spell of lust. You can see beyond this barrier of division between you and other people, between you and true fulfillment. You notice that it's all a reflection of inside. Man is a microcosm of the macrocosm, aka man is a miniature version of the universe itself. Everything is already within you. Yet when you're lusting, you're giving up that realization. You're giving up the power. You're giving up the inner peace. And guess what? That makes you either addicted to chasing substances, to chasing things like the feminine nature, but also can make you averted to it and destroy your perspective on what the divine feminine nature is. This is why it's dangerous, man, to be stuck in a state of lust. You're giving up your powers. You're giving up the ability to attain true inner peace and abide in a state of existence that is beyond what this physical plane can offer you. Because you realize this physical body isn't all that there is. And now when you abide in that state, you can appreciate the divine without being fully consumed in it, and you can appreciate the divine feminine without being fully averted into it. You're detached from this duality. You're realizing that divine feminine is just the yin to the divine masculine's yang. Adam and Eve, Shiva and Shakti, Isis and Osiris. Positive, negative. There's always going to be this dance in between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Right now it's a dance in between the degenerate masculine and the degenerate feminine that are dancing further away from each other due to lust. But what brings them together, what binds them together, is cosmic love. Not romantic love, universal love. That comes from operating at the Anahata, the heart chakra. So you're picking up what the fuck I'm putting down. When you're operating in a state of lust, you view women as external objects rather than internal reflections of yourself, of the spirit. This is why men who are on this practice of semen retention and celibacy, you feel like you're getting more attractive to women on a surface level, but when you get deeper into your streaks, you are operating in a state where you aren't looking for external sources of pleasure anymore. You exude an aura, an energy of equanimity that's attractive to people. And it's a complete polar opposite to what people see most of the masses of society operating at. They see everybody else needs a romantic partner. They see everybody else needs drugs, alcohol, this and that to fill a void. But when they see somebody operating in a state where they can be like these, on a high level, these mystics, monks, sadhus, sages, in a cave, full bliss that they're experiencing all the time, that is a complete opposite version of what they see within the modern world of everyone needs to get this, needs to get that, needs to get that. That's why it's attractive. That's why it's a quality that people are like, wow, I've never seen this before. It's a shock to them. It's a shock factor that they get, and they want to hear more about it. They want to know more about it. And it might not happen on a conscious level. It's happening on a subconscious or metaphysical level. So while these other YouTubers talking about semen retention, female attraction, nah, man, celibacy and this practice of going beyond lust and actually seeing the unified connection between everything is what actually makes you attractive on a much deeper level than this physical body. I'm not saying to not look fly, not look good, not keep yourself together. But what I'm saying is, this is what's happening underneath the layers of just the physical body and of just the surface layer, superficial source of existence. This is why you can appreciate Mother Nature. This is why you can appreciate Mary Jane. If you're puffing that kush, that's that feminine energy. You can appreciate it without being consumed by it and averting it. Oh, I can't smoke any weed, blah, 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 blah. Or if I smoke weed, I'm fully consumed by it. You see what I'm saying? Because you view Mary Jane, you view that feminine energy outside of you. You view that external source of it and you lust out of it. You're lusting for that feminine energy. You're lusting for that external source of it. But funny enough, even you as a man, on a physical manifestation, you hold feminine energy. You hold Shakti energy. That's what this whole concept of Kundalini is, Shakti. Rising up as you practice semen retention celibacy. You might be thinking that's masculine energy. On the Vedic terms, this is Shakti energy. This is feminine energy. It's a creative essence. It's rising up to meet what? At your crown chakra, Shiva. A state of contemplation, unity, comes together. Beyond duality. You're beyond Shiva and Shakti. You become the form of them that are fully unified. That's happening on a mental level when you practice retention and celibacy. It's almost like the feminine and the masculine aspects of yourself fully merge into one. Going beyond duality, that's why you're no longer searching for things outside of you. You found it all within yourself. You ain't gonna do that if you let lust take over. And when you let lust take over, you'll never actually appreciate the divine feminine for what it is. You're always gonna be wanting to get it, grab it, it's mine. Or again, the opposite. Get away from me, you're a slut, you're the blah, blah. So while females need to be going on their own practice, own path of self-mastery, I'm not here to tell females what to do, because obviously, I don't know the struggles and all that stuff that they go through when it comes to this practice of self-mastery. But for a man, when you are going beyond and transcending beyond this whole concept of duality, this is how you actually appreciate the divine feminine for what it is, rather than the degenerate state that we're in right now, which further pulls division and further pulls the poles in opposite directions. This is what the world, the Maya, the Matrix wants. You to think that you have to have this, have that in order to feel whole. Same thing with females. You have to have this external validation from men to feel whole. If they transcend beyond that and you transcend beyond that, you are operating in your divine states. So when you guys do choose to merge, not in a state of I need it, but in a state that this is something for a much bigger purpose, you create something much bigger and better than your overall separate states. You're already perfected in those separate states, but now you go into ultra perfection, ultra creation, super consciousness. Some deep stuff here, but if you're understanding what I'm saying, at the end of the day, if you're always lusting and desiring, and when I'm saying lusting, it's not just through pornography, it's not just through chasing women. You could be lusting for many other things. Lusting is just putting yourself in a state of lack. I need this to feel fulfilled. I need that to feel fulfilled. If you're always in that state, you're never gonna appreciate just life in general. You're always gonna be chasing from one thing to another thing, always on that hamster wheel of desires. To get off the hamster wheel of desires, you need to realize your innate divinity. You need to realize your innate connection to all. You don't reject anything, and you accept everything. You're not chasing after anything, you attract everything. In a state of equanimity in life. Now you can operate within this world, detached in a state where you're not averted and you're not addicted, and you can enjoy what life has to offer you. You can enjoy the beauty of the divine feminine. You can actually see it for what it is, the nourishing aspects of it, the creative aspect of it. Not in a state of, oh man, this and that. Your brain is warped to thinking that all these red pill guys are telling me women are trash, this and that. Guess what? Why they're telling you women are trash? Because they've lusted after women, thinking that women will be the source of their unification to the void that they feel. They thought that the entire time. And they're telling you that the entire time, but they're also telling you women are shit, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And guess what? Women are going to be acting in a way in correspondence to that. It's a fucking nonsense game of ping pong going on. As a true masculine man, as a true divine masculine man, break free from that bullshit. Be the ones that actually shift this overall snowball effect back towards the right way. Back towards unification, back towards divinity rather than degeneracy. And it starts with you. Stop lusting after shit and actually not giving up your power, thinking that this is going to make you fulfilled in life. None of that shit's ever going to make you fulfilled in life. And it might make you pleased, it might make you satisfied temporarily, but it's never going to make you eternally fulfilled. Only the spirit, only your dharma can do that for you. And that comes from dissolving karmas such as being stuck in a hypnotic state of lust. That's when you'll find your divine purpose. And that's when you'll find the ability to go beyond duality and appreciate the divinity of life in itself. God damn, man. Are you picking up what the fuck I'm literally putting down? Come on now, man. Hopefully you're understanding. Hopefully, better yet, you understanding what I'm trying to say. This whole world is going to be geared in a way for you to look externally for things and degenerate you in the process. And when it degenerates you in the process, your mind, your perspective is degenerated as a whole. So you can be looking at a beautiful painting, beautiful picture, but all you see is the bad parts of it because you perceive it to be bad. Because your mind has had its perception degenerated, warped, distorted. If you look at even these girls that are, oh man, these girls are so bad, they're this and that. That's someone's daughter. She might be a mother. That's somebody's sister. But what do you see with your degenerated mind because of lust? She's a hoe, she's a slut, she's a this, she's a that. I'm not saying to just be like, oh man, everybody's perfect. But when you purify and perfect the mind, guess what it reflects back to you? The purified and perfected aspects of some other people. Your mind is the reflection of the internal state of existence. What you view externally is just a mirror of what's going on internally. So do not let lust diminish and destroy the divine beauty of the feminine nature. Take back control, wipe your mind clean, like you wipe your ass clean after go to the toilet, man. Hopefully you do. And walk around with fucking dookie stains in your underwear, bro. Do the same thing with up here with your consciousness. Take that lust, that streak of just smear of shit, wipe it clean. Of course, through these different practices that we talk about again here on this channel, on the main channel, on the private Patreon community with the people I work with one-on-one, on these consultation calls as well. Practices like semen retention, celibacy, pranayama, consciousness expanding, psychology, all the things that we talk about, man. Use these implements, use these tips, use these tools and techniques to transcend beyond a state of a lust. Not just you're lusting after sexuality, but lusting after just in general. Giving up power, giving up the leverage that the outside world would seemingly fulfill you. It ain't. It's temporary. It's illusion. It comes and goes. How can something fulfill you if it comes and goes? It can please you for a little bit, but it'll never fulfill you. What lasts, what's actually infinite will fulfill you. What's finite and what will crash over time has no chance of doing that for you. And when you think it does, it just warps your mind and it gets you in this state of degeneracy, which this world wants you to do. The world wants this fucking bickering back and forth of alpha males versus boss bitches, instead of the union of Shiva and Shakti, Adam and Eve, Isis and Osiris, the great arcanum, where two merge into one and go beyond the whole world perceptions and illusions of the Maya, the Matrix, and the overall perspectives of this reality in totality. Do not let lust degenerate your perspective, degenerate your mind, and disallow you to perceive the beauty of the divine feminine. It's been your boy out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping out that game so you guys can make these games, and I'm out of here. Peace.